Hey everyone, okay, so today's tutorial is on Kim Kardashian and her makeup, in particularly her concealer, because there's so many tutorials on YouTube of Kim Kardashian makeup, but none that really, at least very few, that actually demonstrate the concealer technique. And her makeup artist Mario is a magician, there's no doubt about it, and her makeup is always beautiful. But I thought I would try and show you how to do it, because the one thing that I have noticed is if you look at pictures of drag queens, their contours and their highlights are very exaggerated, but the one thing you'll see over and over and over again with the concealer in the highlight is that on drag queens it comes down from the inner eye to the nostril and then it goes up into this kind of V shape. And 9 times out of 10 drag queens do that. And it's also the technique that Kim Kardashian has with her concealer, because it emphasizes the contours of the face and brightens up this kind of inner section here. And actually a lot of the time it comes down here into this V, and then this section around the nose is done as well. So we're going to, I'm going to show you in a second on me, because why not? I mean, why not? I'm just going to have a little bit of a shave so you can see some more cheek, and then I'm going to show you how to do this technique, because once you've learned it, once you've got it down, very easy to do, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So, see you in a sec. Hey everyone, so I've just had a quick shave around the sides of my face. First thing I'm going to do is just prime my face, and I'm just going to use some Embryolisse, which is in this big tub here, and I'm just going to take a sponge, because I'm going to be using this shortly, which is damp, and I'm just going to apply this to my face just to give it some moisture, because it's really dry. You might want to give it a minute just to let it kind of soak and absorb in, and then maybe absorb even a little bit more with like a tissue. Now I'm going to take Makeup Forever HD foundation so we can actually see if it really is invisible to the HD camera. And I'm going to take shade 150 and put some on my little palette here, and I'm going to just use a beauty blender sponge to kind of apply this. And I'm just going to stipple it on the face to begin with, and then just bounce it around. I think the great thing about the Beauty Blender sponge is that I think it just leaves one of the best finishes on the skin that you can get. So I've always been a big fan of this sponge. Okay, so all I've done now, as you can see, is I've put a bit of mascara on. The reason I've done that is because, you know, with this sort of look, you really need some eye makeup as well, because the face can look kind of sort of washed out. But I put some mascara on, and now we're going to get on with the concealer. I'm going to be using MAC Full Coverage, which is in NW25, and I'm also going to be using a corrector by Makeup Atelier Paris, which is FLWA2. Okay, so Cosette D330 and this MAC Full Coverage, which is the same as the this is basically the same thing as the MAC sort of Studio Tech concealer. I'm going to start from the inner corner here and just draw a line right the way down, and I keep it in line with the nostril area, and then I'm just going to take it up sort of just past the outside corner of the eye, and then I'm just going to kind of roughly fill this area in. There you go. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. There we go. Tell you what you can also do as well is you can extend this concealer right the way back here to the hairline, because you're going to blend it out there anyway, but you want to just do it very lightly if you do. So concealer's on. And another little thing actually is you can also take it on the sides of the nose here, because this really looks good when it's blended out, because you're going to be putting contour down there anyway with this kind of look, and it means you can use a lighter shade of contour. Next thing we're going to do is blend it out, but first I'm going to put on top of this a liquid concealer, and I'm actually just dotting it on, because NW25 is a little bit, I want to be a little bit lighter than that. Going to take the size of the Beauty Blender, and you just want to start this dabbing and pressing motion And just keep blending like this until it bleeds out and meets the rest of the foundation. You might need to get in here with your little finger or your ring finger to just blend it in. There you go, that's sort of one side partially blended. You can see now that this is blended because we're not finished yet. You can kind of see this kind of highlighted area here. Now what we need to do is set it with powder and then put a bit of bronzer on and warm it up, and you see the final look. So using a Vela puff, I am applying some loose powder, which is by Makeup Forever. It's Super Matte Loose. And you can kind of see I'm patting it on and rolling it on. And I'm starting with a slightly darker colour around the kind of outside of the face where the foundation went. And then I use a slightly lighter colour on this highlighted area. And I'm just going to switch sponges and use a lighter colour of powder. And I've switched to you can see that a smaller sponge, and I'm bringing it down onto these highlighted area here. And I'm doing it heavy because I can brush it off, but I really want to set this because you really want to set concealer, otherwise it'll look horrible and go everywhere. Okay, that looks nice, doesn't it? While this is kind of sitting on the face, we're going to start to bronze around the perimeter of the face. This way this area will look even more highlighted, and I'm going to show you a little trick. Just going to take a little, this is just a sachet of sample. Use a credit card, going to dip it into some bronzer, and I'm using MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. And you want to put it just sort of underneath the cheekbone. And lightly just dust here, and then pull away. And you can see it's left this edge. Do that on the other side. And there's that edge. And this is going to further emphasize it. And then just above this highlighted area, we're going to bronze around the perimeter of the forehead and then down here. You can see it's left it much stronger than it would be without. Just go onto it here. Pull away. Now you want to take this bronzer and buff on your jawline area as well. And down onto the neck. Okay, number 19, a brush from Atelier Paris. We're just going to knock off this excess powder, and it's totally set the concealer and left it lighter in this section of the face. I'm going to start with a pink and then build into a different shade. Start on the outside corner and build that highlight from the contour up. Start from the contour and work up. And I think I'm going to take a more peachy colour as well and add that to the mix. Just really sort of finish the look off. I'm going to take a fan brush, a big powder brush, and I'm going to just do this sweeping motion up and down. And this is just to blend the blush and the highlight shades all together, and the bronzer. Because we want to minimise as many lines as we can on the face, but at the same time still make sure that we can see what we've been doing. There you go, and that completes the look. Let me just zoom out. There you go. You can kind of see it now, the lightness in the face, and you imagine with eye makeup that this will look really cool. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.